All right, let's watch this one. This is by Ritchie SH once again. I'm gonna give him a like because why not? Unless I won't like it, then I'll give him a dislike. Can anything stop Ashes of Creation? Ritchie SH. I would say, because I don't know exactly what he refers to, but I would say not really, because nothing is also holding back Ashes of Creation. The sense is like there's no shareholders, there's like money is already pretty much like Steven is providing basically 100% of the money for the game, and they made more money with people donating and shit like that. So it's like they have the budget at this point to just keep making the game until it's ready. And the thing is, even if it's released while another game is trying to like sabotage them, mainly World of Warcraft, the main saboteur of games. Even if that were to be the case, I don't think it would matter to Ashes of Creation, because first of all, they're making a very long-term game. So even if like launch doesn't succeed, who gives a shit, right? Like it doesn't have like the 2 million players at launch. Like wow, big fucking deal. I don't think it's gonna matter to them that much. Um, so I don't think you can really stop Ashes of Creation, and there's no company to buy. The company is literally like Steven, and he's making a game for himself. Again, this is what we have been told. We don't know anything else. Yo, Ritchie SH, buddy.
For a long time now, there has been one MMORPG that has sat the top of the list when it comes to the most played. And if you're an MMORPG fan
Most
at all,
played?
you
Wow,
have
yeah, of
probably
course.
heard of World of Warcraft. Currently, around the last update, it still had at least 5 million active players, and that's not even including the wave of players who jumped in for Wrath of the Lich King Classic.
Wait. How many did you just say?
Currently, around the last update, it still had at least 5 million active.
Okay, he's talking about like Warlords of Draenor, bro. Like that's 6, 7, 8 years ago. Like I don't even know. 2, 4, yeah, 6+ years ago.
Players, and that's not even including the wave of players who jumped in for Wrath of the Lich King Classic. But there is one upcoming MMO.
I feel like he just doesn't follow WoW news, because there's like maybe 1 million to 2 million players at most right now, probably for WoW, based on numbers. Or even if there are more, they're not really playing the game. They're just like maybe logging in, logging out. But if they're logging in, logging out, they are paying monthly subs, so that's big enough, right?
That could finally top WoW. And no, this isn't
No.
a will this game kill World of Warcraft video.
I mean, the tone was, but honestly, again, it's a completely different beast as well. And also, will it top WoW in the sense of what numbers? I highly doubt it. This game is extremely inaccessible for regular players, right? This game is literally like it's gonna be a second job, but like a fun job. It's not gonna be like a treadmill job like World of Warcraft. It's just gonna be like you will need to put in a lot of hours into Ashes of Creation, which is not something that modern MMORPGs try to do with their client base, right? With their players. So it's gonna be very different. I honestly believe Ashes of Creation, after like the what do you call it, the beginning hype, it will probably be at 200 to 300,000 players at the most, but we'll see. Which is fine. I think there's only one server anyways per region.
World of Warcraft has done that itself several times now, but nothing is going to stop its core fans from returning again and again every new expansion just to try and get that feeling back that they once had, as no MMO has really done before. But out of all the MMORPGs out on the market and the ones that are currently being developed, I believe that Ashes of Creation has the biggest chance to pass World of Warcraft's all-time high of 12 million subscribers.
No, absolutely not. There's absolutely no game that will ever be made as an MMORPG that will surpass the Warcraft hype. Not because there aren't well, I mean, there is a chance, but not anytime soon. Mostly because there was no competition for WoW back in those days. When WoW had 12.8 million players in Wrath of the Lich King, there was absolutely no competition. Also, I would say about 7+ million of those players really want a conclusion for Warcraft 3. At least half. You know what? I would go with that. At least half of the player base, because like 4 million dropped right away as soon as ICC was done. At least half of the player base only played Wrath for the Lich King, and as soon as that was over, it was done. So those players came from a strategy game. They didn't care about the MMO genre. So you can say there was like only 8 million MMO players, really.
Some may argue that the League of Legends MMO also has that chance as well, but we have literally seen zero footage of that game.
I would say, you know what? I would say League of Legends MMO does have a better chance than AOC, because aside from them having like 100 million players already, right? And they already have a very established world with lore and characters. No matter how good the story of Ashes of Creation is going to be, it's not established for the player base. People don't have any connection to the characters in Ashes, to the story, to anything. It's a cool story, because I just watched an ARC video about the story. It's a really cool story. I wouldn't say it's original, but it's not complex, and it's cool, right? And that's all you really need. It's like straightforward and it's cool. These are the evil guys and that's it. Maybe later they can play politics or who is actually the evil person. But like with Riot, it's a very complex, very interesting, and you already know the characters. So if anyone would have the chance to surpass World of Warcraft MMO, WoW MMO, like Wrath of the Lich King, 13 million players-ish, it would be Riot MMO, but I also doubt that they will.
Any idea what it's going to be about, how it's going to play out, or the features it will include. So, for the moment, it's not on my list. In order for Ashes of Creation to reach these levels, it should really look back on what made WoW so successful.
Warcraft 3, you want them to make a strategy game with a massive story beforehand? Not gonna happen.
To begin with. World of Warcraft was built off the backbone of one of the greatest RTS games of all time. It already had players invested into the world and the story. It had characters fleshed out, zones established, the world already built in a way, and
so like the only way I would say for Ashes of Creation to make a game that would appeal, that would draw in more players than World of Warcraft did, in this day and age, make a very successful anime about Ashes of Creation. And maybe you'll be like, but I mean like very fucking successful. Like have a TV series, an anime, a fucking fan page. Like yeah, like it's not gonna happen.
And basic classes already in the game in some function, all of which they could pull from Warcraft 3 and what was already established and build off of that to create the MMORPG. Ashes of Creation does not have that. It's an indie studio by all means that had a huge Kickstarter success with a very passionate creative director who has been burned many times before by the MMORPG genre, like the rest of us. And
I love that Steven is literally the red pill for MMORPG gamer. So it's like all the red pill guys for like dating and shit are like, you know, it's like I was one of you guys. I was a nerd in school. My girlfriend cheated on me, or she didn't want, or like I was with this girl and she just dumped me because there was another guy that she wanted to be with. And that was the final straw. And ever since then, I became a kickboxing world champion. I'm fucking multi-millionaire, banging hot chicks. Became Andrew Tate. So Steven is the Andrew Tate for the MMORPG genre.
Although it's being built from the ground up, Intrepid Studios has done wonders getting the game hyped up in the public with literally no marketing as of yet. As of October 2020,
I think they had the best marketing strategy ever. They didn't do any marketing, but Lazy Peon did all the marketing for them, and then everyone jumped on top of it as well.
They had almost 3 million account signups, and this was before Alpha 1 and before the massive progress they've shown this year, and the game hasn't even hit the beta testing phases yet. That alone is an amazing feat for any game studio, especially an indie.
Just because there's interest doesn't mean that people are going to play it. I think there was even more interest for Elden Ring than 3 million, but only 1 million copies sold on the first week or two. Obviously, it's going to surpass that, but I'm just saying. There's not 3 million people playing it at any one time, though.
Game developer, and Intrepid will need to handle it very carefully to make sure those 3+ million players return on launch day. One of the biggest takeaways from World of Warcraft's success, though, was how easy it was for someone to get into who had very little knowledge or none at all of the MMO genre. I personally dabbled in the dark ages of Camelot for my first MMO before WoW, but World of Warcraft was the first time that I went all into an MMO. And what really got me there was how easy it was to understand from the moment you jumped into the world of Azeroth. As the genre has slowly faded away in the last 20
Not story, just gameplay wise, I would say. Yeah. If he talks about like how easy the gameplay was, then yes. If he's talking about like how understandable the story was, it's like good luck.
years to finally start to be built up again and the hype around it come back, there needs to be an MMO out there that does this again. Ashes of Creation can gain and retain many of its subscribers by limiting the barrier to entry and allowing people new to the genre to jump in and feel right at home as if they're playing the next annual Call of Duty. And now I don't mean that as make the game casual, because Ashes of Creation is not a casual.
It's not, and it's also not a pick up and play type of game either. That's the biggest problem. The most popular games right now are pick up and play. The closest MMORPG to pick up and play right now, I would say, is WoW with Mythic Plus, which I still think they need to lower Mythic Plus runs to last like 20-25 minutes rather than 30 to 40 minutes. I feel like 30 to 40 minutes plus group creation is way too long. If the dungeon run could have been 20-25 minutes on average, like that was the goal, and the dungeon was meant for that, like built for that type of goal, I think they would have a much better time, and a much broader audience just because of Mythic Plus. Final Fantasy does it okay with like the daily stuff, like, you know, just go into the roulette, quick queue, do your daily and shit like that, but there's not much to do outside of it. And you know, if you just want to hang out with the people, it's just like it's a lobby game for the most part, social hub kind of thing. You know, it's a Discord with chat instead of voice, and location instead of like a blank fucking screen, you know. But yeah, Ashes of Creation is definitely not that. Ashes of Creation require you a lot of your time every time you log in, most likely, unless you're just logging in to like check auction house and log out, then sure, whatever.
Casual game. But if you look at WoW Classic, it was not casual either. It just did a great job at explaining the classes as you progressed, and then explaining the endgame content.
World of Warcraft Classic was not casual, I would agree. It required a lot of fucking effort, but also World of Warcraft Classic, who used to play that the most? Kids, okay? Everyone, like, kids were growing up. It was like the Fortnite of 2003. Just kids were playing it. Kids had all the time in the world. They would even skip school. They would not sleep and go to school like half awake, fall asleep in classes because fuck it, they got to play WoW. Okay, nobody handle them now. Right now though, people who are playing MMOs mostly, like, there are not a lot of young kids playing MMOs. I would say the youngest kids you would find are like in their early 20s, so they're just starting their fucking life. And vast majority are very late 20s or mid 30s to 40-year-olds, right? So it's like, yeah, like a pick-me-up game is probably like more to their needs right now, because like they go to work, they come home 5-6 p.m, food, shower, you know, whatever, and they want to relax. They have a couple hours before they go to sleep. Yeah, they can't play a very long time, you know, especially if they have families. Maybe they have like an hour.
As you join a guild to take on those first bosses. Steven Sharif, the creative director behind Ashes and the founder of Intrepid Studios, has a vision to make MMORPGs great again. In a non-pay-to-win high fantasy world, giving players the ultimate choice in the game, built around a risk versus reward mindset. And really, everything in the game is built around this.
And here's the other thing, right? The whole risk versus reward. So imagine like you only have like an hour to play, right? And it's like, okay, I'm just gonna go do a bit of gathering. Then you died, right? And then you get the penalty, the XP debt and all that stuff, all this penalty. And like, fuck, man, well, you gotta log out because, like, you know, your time is running out. You don't have time. Log out. And then the next time you're like, man, I'm gonna log in, but I have this stupid XP debt now and I have all these fucking issues, right? It's like, there are many problems with a game like this for a very casual player, right? So it's really not appealing to a very broad audience, for sure.
PvP, a castle siege, dungeons or raids, the node system, everything has a big risk behind it that will make finishing that goal much more satisfying in the end. And that alone, I believe, is what brought a lot of players to the game. Well, this, along with the game-changing systems such as the nodes that are leveled up by the player, unlocking content as they progress, with a promise that no server is going to be the same, dynamic zone-altering weather systems that can change up trade routes, resources, creatures, and more, really helping strengthen the node economies, causing players to rely on each other in ways that haven't been seen before in the genre. 64 possible classes and extensive character customization, really allowing you to play how and what you want to and be the character of your dreams, and massive castle sieges bringing somewhere between 500 and 1,000 players against each other on one open world battlefield for full control over specific server locations. All of these systems backed by the power and the beauty of Unreal.
I wonder if the castle sieges are gonna be like the castles are owned by guilds, and that's like the guild v guild battles would be literally castle sieges, right? Man, that would be so cool. Like, you are a guild and you own this land, and then other guilds will attack you and you have to defend. You can hire mercenaries to help you defend and all that shit. That would be so fucking cool. And like, you develop your own castle in that regard, which is separate from the node system. Obviously, I read this in the manga, but that sounds like such a cool idea to me in an MMORPG.
Engine 5 will make Ashes of Creation the greatest MMORPG in history. But in order for this to actually happen, Intrepid needs to stick with Steven's vision no matter what. They can't have broken promises. Yes, things change during game development, but the whole reason Steven Sharif started Intrepid was because of being burnt out over and over again, wanting a great MMORPG to play. This really built the foundation of the studio. They have the time and the resources to make this possible. Steven has put in more than 30 million of his own money along with the Kickstarter funds, and he is willing to put in even more if necessary. There is no corporate entity forcing them to hit deadlines. They can take as long as they possibly want to make sure this game is perfect. And as long as Intrepid sticks with that mindset, nothing will stand in their way from making Ashes of Creation the biggest MMORPG to ever hit the market. Do you guys think Ashes of Creation has what it takes to take that top spot in the MMORPG
It doesn't, not because of development, just because of the vision. It doesn't.
genre? Drop a comment down below, and if you're new to Ashes and have yet to create an account, feel free to use my referral link in the description below, where you can jump in on the forums, buy some cosmetics, or just be ready for when you can finally jump into the world of Vera. Otherwise, be sure to click that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, turn on the bell for notifications, and stay tuned for a lot more to.
It's gonna be a fantastic game, but it's not gonna be a top MMO in that regard. Quality wise, yeah, it's probably gonna be a AAA, but like, just the amount of people that are gonna be willing to play this on that level, I doubt it, man. I really doubt it. I wish, would be great, but I really doubt it. Yeah. What's this? Okay, I'll read the comment, like the likes later. Anyways, yeah, good video overall. Again, like, I don't agree. I don't think anything can stop it, but I just don't think it will be as big as he wishes it to be. But yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. That was Ritchie SH. Give him a sub, give him a like, and comment on this video. And if you got time, do so for me too. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.